Oh, that looks fun.
It's the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Look at here. Look at all this stuff. Ooh, sunburst. I see some sunburst there, and I love those waves. So welcome everyone. We have Barbara's here. And Barbara, hello. Hello, hello. We got 14 people. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful too. Peggy's here with some more amazing layouts. So if you like to do scrapbook layouts, and really you could adjust a lot of the sketch to cards if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
But so Peggy, welcome. You look bright and cheery
Well,
today.
you know, the sun is out and it's
Sun's
hotter
shining.
than blazes. Gotta have some brightness somewhere, huh?
That's very true. And it's not fall yet. It's still
No.
summer, even though school started
Yep.
yesterday. And oh my gosh, was the traffic different in the morning.
Oh yes, I bet it was.
I don't know if you noticed that or not, but
Yes.
we definitely were. It was busier. It was a little harder to get to Starbucks, and I just skipped it all together today, Peggy, because the line was long.
Yep.
So anyway, Peggy's here, and we're going to do some scrapbooking today.
Yes.
And you've pulled a lot of good fun product
I
because
did.
we're going from
Some summery
golf
things.
to Halloween,
Yeah.
and just some
Some
little
new
things.
collections, some collections we've
Yes.
had for a little while that I'm sure people have, and
And the sunburst
Yeah.
from 49 a Market.
Yes.
Peggy, I
know,
just love this right here.
I don't do a lot of 49 in Market because the paper kind of intimidates me. But I loved the brightness in that collection, and I knew our cruise pictures would be great.
They are perfect.
To use with that
oh my gosh,
collection.
I love
so
it.
So fun.
So, OK says it's PSL Day at Starbucks. Do you know what that means? PSL.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, pumpkin spice latte.
It might be a little too hot outside to think of pumpkin
Maggie.
right now.
Maggie knew all about it. Maybe that's why the cars were all the way around the building.
That could
So,
be.
anyway.
Maggie, are you a Starbucks aficionado?
Not really, and I'm not even a pumpkin spice latte, but
There
we
she
were
is.
Just talking about it with Doug, so that's how I.
That's
Yep.
why it was so busy.
Yep.
But anyway.
Yep.
So get your pumpkin spice lattes. If you have
Yes.
those, have a chair, sit back, relax. We're
Yep.
going to
Grab
learn
your
a lot
coffee
about Peggy's
Using
layouts
sketches
today.
We're using a sketch. Janet, so multi-talented. Not only is she an amazing card maker, she does amazing heritage layouts, a great cutter that she showed yesterday with our scary makers and cutting guides, but she also creates sketches for our store. And so I wanted to use one of her sketches and see how many different layouts I could come up with just using the one sketch and different interpretations of it. So this sketch right here is the one that today's layouts are all based on. So I've got 3 one-page layouts, 1 double-page layout, all based on this sketch. This was my inspiration for it.
All right, so you took one piece of it.
Yep, just the one sketch, and created all these layouts. So we're going to get started, and we'll talk about each of the layouts and what part of the sketch was the inspiration and things like that. And
Well,
just
we
have
can't
a fun
wait.
time with that.
We just can't
So
wait.
We're going to start today with the golf one because it was one of my favorites. This is my my grandsons with their dad, my son-in-law, on the golf course, and it's one of the things that they absolutely love to do. And you can kind of see where the sketch is in relationship to what I did here. You can see, there's the section that goes through the middle, which is right here, but instead of having the embellishments there, I did fill it with photos. I kind of flipped this part over to the opposite side and then ran it all the way down. So you can see that. And this is just,
yes, I see
this
it now.
is a cut apart from this collection, the MVP collection, and it was a cut apart right there, just a golf card, and I cut it in half.
What a good idea that they had a golf cart.
Yeah.
So that's the MVP golf. That's one of Becky Moore's designs for photo play. And there's MVP for basketball and soccer and
Yes.
a lot of other sport, baseball. I can't name all the sports,
Yep.
but it's a really good collection, and I love these colors.
Well, and the one really fun thing about this collection is this front sheet right here. This is what the back of that looks like. It's a golf ball.
Oh, so they
So
printed
there's the
oh
front
my
of it.
gosh, I didn't know that, Peggy. So they printed the back of the insert.
With golf balls. So you can see the dimples of the golf balls. And so I thought, oh, that has to be the background of this page because we're, you know, so full of golf. But based on the sketch, you can see on the sketch here that there's 3 sections. So it's divided into thirds. So there's the top section, which is, you know, 2 inches. Then this middle section is a 6-inch section, and then a 4-inch section. I kind of adjusted that, you know, on some of my layouts, but I stayed true to the 3 sections. And you'll see that on all 3 of the layouts. I stayed true to the 3 sections. I just kind of changed up the sides a little bit. So this top part, I just used the argyle paper, and I thought for the bottom part, I really wanted to create an argyle design too. I didn't want it to just be solid.
Oh my gosh, I realized that you made this. I thought it was paper.
Yep. So I just created this, and this is so much easier than it looks to do, because all this are just squares of paper. Just squares that I put, you know, on the diagonal to create a diamond shape, and just laid them down. You know, cut them in half across the middle to start the bottom part, and just laid them down and put them together that way to create that background. And then my stitching lines just went through the middle of each of the squares to create that argyle design. So I wanted to kind of imitate that down here just to tie everything together on it. And then the striped piece right here kind of brings it all together. It just it defines the sections, but it brings all those colors together, I think.
It does. And if you don't want to stitch, you could always do
draw lines.
faux stitching or draw some lines.
You can draw
too.
lines. You can, you know, whatever you want to do on that. But it really is not. It didn't take long to do it. Once I figured out, well, I can just use squares and turn them, you know, on the diagonal, so they look
that's
in
amazing.
diamonds. So,
it looks cool.
so I didn't even have to use like a diamond shape or anything like that. It's just a square that I did, and then when your squares are all the same size, they all, you know, fit together really
it looks
nicely.
great.
So, and then everything else on this page came from this
From the collection.
from the collection. So I used the stickers from the sticker sheets.
Yeah,
you can
let's
see
look at the sticker sheet here.
the title is the word golf right down here. So that's right there. And then I liked this red T, and I thought, well, I'm going to tee up the G in golf.
Oh,
Because
very
it looks
clever.
like a, you know, so that kind of brings my title together. I did cut, you know, the with Dad on my Cricut. I didn't have exactly the letters I wanted in my stash, so I did cut that. But I brought all of that up off the page a little bit, and then put the word with on top of it to kind of, otherwise
It's
it kind
really,
of got lost
it's really
underneath.
cool, Peggy. It's very nice.
But so, and then on here, I did journal a little bit on here. I was able to kind of fit that in
you
there.
lined that up crazy.
So I got really lucky.
Oh
I got
my
really
gosh.
lucky on it. So did that, and then I also put some journaling on the bottom. And I figured at some point we can write the scores in when the boys start playing, you know, the full course. So, but they're old enough now. They go out on the putting green, and they go out on the driving range, and they do play the par 3 at Jester every so often.
Fun. That's
So
very
they have
fun.
a lot of fun to, you know, with their dad, and just playing golf out there and just having time together. So, but again, we went with the third at the top, and this section I've moved over to the opposite side and layered that. I used this part full of photos, and my photos aren't 6. I think I cut them down to 5. So I think they're 4 by 5. This one's a little bit narrower because I had brought it in a little bit. And then the bottom part, the argyle, with just the title down here and that sort of thing. So that's how I interpreted the sketch to do this layout. So all of those same elements are there.
And we're getting questions about Janet's sketches. This is set 1.
Yep.
And she originally designed this for heritage. I mean, and you can see from Peggy, it goes for anything.
Yes.
But she was doing heritage albums, and these were the sketches she used. And it is online. She posted a link. It's a download, so you can download it. It's $1.59. You can download it, or if you place an order, or if you want to pick it up in the store, we have it available also.
So
Very
that's the
cool.
first one.
I love it.
I know.
Love it.
I do love working with sketches, especially if I'm kind of struggling with starting a layout or something like that, to think, okay, I have these pictures, but how do I want to lay them out? Sometimes looking at sketches just really helps to kind of kickstart that creativity and just start getting going. And so I think that's why when you look at these layouts, even though they're all based on this one sketch, they all look very different.
Well, you did all this with one sketch, and
Just
it
the one
actually
sketch.
includes, what, 7 sketches?
5, 6, 7, yeah. Yep. But I just used the one on this one. I wanted to show how you could interpret it, you know, a lot of different ways.
I'm glad you did. That keeps
So,
it easier to understand.
So I mean, even though this was my starting point, I didn't necessarily have to do exactly what it said. And I think that's the great thing about sketches. You can interpret them any way you want. So on this one, again, I'm starting from the sketch, the 2, the 6, the 4. I pretty much stayed true to that, to the 3 sections on this. I think this is probably the one I stayed probably truest to the sketch for the most part. But I used Monster Mash.
This is the collection you, Peggy, loved
Yes,
before
I
it even
loved
came
it.
in.
When I first saw it, I loved it because it had just fun colors in it.
It does have different
And
colors
it's just
for Halloween.
fun for, you know, little kid fun for Halloween, trick or treat, because I think one of the things that drew me to it initially was the green that was in it, because I have pictures of my grandson in a green dinosaur costume at Halloween, and some of the other Halloween lines, you know, the green didn't match because it was such a bright green. Well, this one it's going to work for, so I intend to use that for that layout too. But
And we can't wait to see it, Peggy.
I'm anxious to
She
use
shares
it,
her
so,
layouts.
yes,
We're
I
so
do.
lucky.
I do. This one, last year we did a Bendini adventure, which is our family and my son-in-law's parents too. We kind of combine our last name, and that's what we call our adventures.
Oh, I love that.
So,
love
and we
it.
do a lot of things together like that. So we took the little boys to Night Eyes last year for the first time. And this is the picture of our group when we got done. And it was kind of funny when we first got there. We got out of the car and met up, and we're walking to the gate. And my oldest grandson looks at his other grandma, and he looks at me, and he's just so excited. He goes, "Both the grandmas dressed up." He said, "Grandma Ruth dressed up like a cat, and Grandma Peggy's dressed up like a cowboy," because I have this hat on. It's not a cowboy hat. But I said, "Okay, we'll go."
Yeah, that's
So
fun.
I got a kick out of him.
Kids are so cute.
He was Spider-Man, the little one was the cow. So it was really fun. But this layout again, my top section here, I stayed pretty true to the sketch, where I had I'll put this back down here, where I have this little, you know, layering area clustered here. Instead of, you know, squares of paper, I did the banners. And all of this came off of the sticker sheet.
Okay, I love those eyeballs,
Yeah.
Peggy. That's what I was kind of looking for.
Yep, they
Oh,
all
there
came
they
off
are.
the
They've got
sticker
several.
sheet. Yeah. So there's a lot of different ones that you can use on here, and I did too. I loved being able to add that. So I added them here. I also added them here,
Yeah, she
here,
popped
and
them
here,
up.
and popped them up because I thought that's just
There you
kind
can
of
see
fun.
it.
So you can kind of see how it's.
And this is
there,
Echo
yeah.
Park Monster Mash. It's a new collection for this year.
And it's just fun. I also down here on the stickers, I added googly eyes to the
And
the
I
ghost.
love googly eyes. And we have, you can get these. We have quite a few different sizes.
Yeah, these are the 8s. I know we have the 7s, and we have I think 10s and 12s, maybe some bigger ones. This piece right here was actually cut from a cut apart. I cut that out of the
cut it
cut apart.
out.
I was thinking there was one that was similar to it on the sticker sheet, but it wasn't quite as big as I wanted it. So
They
I
do
just
have
cut it
they
out.
do have the die.
Yeah, the
that's-
die
if
is
you
right
want
there.
that. And this sold out, and
Yep.
we did get it back in.
So yeah, I mean, these little, kids in costume, I think were
They're
just so
super
much fun to
cute.
use. I like adding the bats on just to give that little,
Yeah,
with their
just a little
eyes and
extra.
things. We have these titles, the die cut titles that we have. We have quite a few for Halloween right now. We have the night eyes.
Oh,
We've got,
there's, speaking of googly
yeah.
eyes, there you go. There's
How cute would that have been on there too, with the spider hanging down. Just Happy Halloween, I think is great. Monster Mash, be great with this collection.
and you're going to find all of these in our Halloween stuff.
So I mean,
section. They do
making
match it
titles.
well.
Yeah, making titles for your pages, so slick and easy, and it just I think gives just a really nice finishing touch. But going back to the sketch again, with the thirds, we did that top two. Even on the sketch, it just shows. Let's see. It shows on the bottom of this middle section a little border, but I put it on both sides. I cut one of the sticker borders in half because it was too thick otherwise to go across the top, and then I use the other one down here. So they're not the same. You don't have to use the same one.
Yeah, so you use the
You
sticker
can change
borders.
it up. Yep, I use the sticker borders on that.
I like it different.
I do too. I mean, on this one, I did the same top and bottom, but this one I used different, and I liked how it turned out. I think it gives a nice separation between the orange and the stripe, and then the little googly eyes. I like the angle of the stripe here versus the up and down there.
Well, and I'm glad you did it both ways because it gives us ideas.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be matchy. You can use whatever you want. You can use whatever color you want. I stayed pretty close to the same size on the photo. My photo, I think, is maybe 4.5 by 4 because I couldn't fit everybody in the 4 by 4, like it said there. I did double mat it rather than the single mat, but this is a 5 by 5 mat. And then on the 6 by 6 area, the caption is pretty close to what the sketch has. Mine is maybe 1/2 inch longer or wider than what the sketch says, just to fit it in there. And then I made my journal box. Even though it doesn't have a journal box in there, it's got the leaves and things, but I brought a journal box in here and I made that the same size as the title block just to give it balance.
It looks good, Peggy. It looks really great.
So-
I love what you did with that collection.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun on that. And I just added, some of the stickers. This is from the cut aparts. This collection has some really good different sizes of cut aparts with like the journal, on the journal elements and things. It has a lot of different sizes, which a lot of fun. So you can get a lot of great pieces out of the collection pack. Yep.
Hey, Maggie,
So,
could you get us some bulk packs of white and black and natural paper? People are asking if we sell them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I do use white a lot on my background.
And that
You
looks
see
like
that?
color vibe.
It is the
warm
color vibe.
white, but you could use white
Yep.
also.
And I also used it on my journal block.
Oh, you
too.
did. I didn't realize that till I looked a little closer.
Use that on there.
Okay, Maggie, we had a question about whether we sell bulk packs of the cardstock, and we do. And Maggie went to get it for us, so we
while
could
she
show.
comes
Oh,
to do
look at
that.
this pretty one!
We'll do it this.
And Peggy, it looks so good with your top. All the yellow going on. It's perfect.
So this Simple Stories line came out a couple months ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was this summer.
And the colors were just so
really,
pretty.
it is very pretty.
It's very pretty. It's very summery. It has some great pieces to it. I mean, Simple Stories never brings out a bad collection. I
No, they
think.
don't. Here's
They
the washi
have,
tape.
Yep.
It's
I
got
just
lots
brought
of
some of the other
fun
pieces
colors,
out here.
the pinks and the lavenders.
Yep.
And it's called The Little Things. Thanks, Maggie.
I just brought a few of the sheets that I used on here too. The tag sheet, you'll see that on there.
We were just talking about your tags and how you pop them out of things, and how
I
cool
like to
it
do
is.
that.
Janet was talking about that yesterday.
Oh, well, we have a few more tags up here. We did the 3, which, you know, from the sketch.
It's got a little few
Yep,
things popping
right up
out.
here. That's what I did here. You see the little details there, where the little file, what is that called?
Little tab.
File tab. You know, I decided to use a banner instead. Right there.
So the idea is that you put a little cluster of embellishments here,
Yep.
and what you put there can be whatever you want. Like here,
Right.
she used the Halloween things and a tab, and kind of did
Yeah.
it how it showed.
Yep.
And over here, she flipped it over to the left,
Yep.
and it's a cut apart and some stickers.
Yep. So you can make it anything that you want. Like Kelly said over here, you know, I have the little banner flags up here instead of, you know, the square pieces of paper, you know, with the file tab there. And on this one, I use the tags instead of, you know, just sheets of paper, and I use the banner. This one is a little bit of a deviation from
I think
the
so.
sketch, but again, I still have three sections. I have this top section, which a little more than 2, obviously. My bottom section is probably the 6. This is closer to the 6, but my middle section here, I just squared off.
Oh, it doesn't go to the
So
edge.
it doesn't go all the
Okay.
way across.
I was
just
trying to
kinda
figure out
squared
where
it
you were
off.
going with that,
Yep.
Peggy, because I'm
I
like,
just
no,
kinda
that is
squared
not
it
thirds,
off.
but it is.
And then I thought the black got lost a little bit here, so I had this little strip of the yellow color vibe
Good
that
idea.
I just put across the top, just to kind of give a little bit of definition to it, just to kind of divide that out.
Or when you have something that's very busy
Yep.
against busy, just insert a little.
Yep, just put a little bit of solid in. And like Maggie likes to say, you know, it's a place to let your eyes rest. So, you know, you have your busy, let's have your calm.
I like
Put your
resting
comb.
my eyes too.
We need to rest our eyes.
do.
So that was kind of why I put this up here. I just thought it needed that division. The same thing between, you know, this busy and this calm. I needed something in between that to kind of divide this up. And one of the things I like to do, and one of the reasons I like this sketch and this little strip across here, is anytime I bring sections of paper together, I like to put a little strip over the top to
You're
hide
right.
that
You
division.
do that. You
I
definitely
do that a lot. You'll see that in a lot of my layouts. I do that a lot because I think it just, for the style of scrapbooking that I do, I think it just kind of gives it a little bit more of a finished look. And then sometimes if I do this, this also gives me a great place to add like a mini brad or an enamel dot.
Enamel dot.
You
And-
know, just to anchor things down.
And the enamel dots with this collection are called glossy, so they're
And
not
they're
the matte.
fun. They
I
have
know
a
they're
little bit
kind
of
shine.
Yeah, I used them up here a little bit, right there. Tucked a few of them in there.
Just enough.
There's
Just a little
couple
subtle.
yellow ones here, little red one there. I used a couple little, you know, my little die cuts here that I used with the red
Oh, sure.
paper there, just to, you know, give it a little bit more of an anchor
So
there
she's
too.
using the floral bits from the little things.
Yep.
And a lot of times they'll have a collection and they'll have one pack of ephemera that's all florals.
I know,
And,
I love it.
and I do too. I think they're really cool. And they threw in a few lemons with this one.
And it just makes, you know, doing the embellishment groupings so easy. I think florals lend themselves to the embellishment groupings. You'll see that I do that on a lot of pages. And when they come out with their floral bits, they're different sizes. From, you know, you get large ones,
Yeah,
you
it
get
does
small
help to
ones.
have the variety
so
of
it really
sizes.
does make it easy to do your groupings. One other thing I liked about the bits and pieces, it came with this title.
oh,
right
the
there.
little, that's in the bits and pieces?
Yep, that's the bits and pieces right
Okay,
there. And
that's
I thought
glaring,
that was great.
so I'm
Oh,
gonna
I'm sorry.
grab it. That's okay.
So
We have a glare in
Yeah.
this. We're in a different spot today and it's a little more glary, but there it is.
Yep.
The little things that she's talking about.
Yep.
And Peggy, somebody would like to know what program you use for your journaling.
I have Google Docs at home that I use. I don't have Microsoft Word. I just have Google Docs, and I'm on my computer a lot during the day, so I use my computer a lot. So Google Docs is pretty easy for me to use. And what I usually do is when I decide how big I want my journal block to be, I measure it out. So I measure, how wide it is, how long it is, right. So if you have Microsoft Word, you can use a text box. I think text boxes are hard to use in Google Docs. I don't like to use them. So I kind of just have to eyeball it somewhat. And then I just set my margins, and then I start typing, to fill the space, and put that in there. And then sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 tries to get, the spacing right on it.
Yeah, you print it on practice paper.
Yeah, I print it just on regular, computer paper, just to get the spacing right. And once I get the spacing right, then I'll take, my cardstock that I'm using for my journaling. I'll use my repositionable adhesive to put it onto my computer paper over the top of what I've printed out, and then I just run it back through my printer that way.
And I do the same thing in Word. A lot of us don't use the Google Docs.
Right.
I think they're a little bit
I think Google
less
Docs
common.
I think Microsoft Word is a lot easier.
You can do the same thing with Word.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And on this one, what I did, for the where it has the caption on the sketch, when I was looking through, the different pieces here, I came across this.
Well, we just had a question about the typewriter, where you got the typewriter.
It's in the 6x8 pad. And I saw this, and I thought, this would be a perfect thing to ground my journaling in. And when I saw this, I thought, I need to write a note to myself. This is part of my Me and 23
perfect
series. So this is part of that. This is my July page for Me and 23. But I thought this would be so perfect to ground the journaling. And so initially I cut it out, the whole thing out. I fussy cut it. And I did bring some scissors over here to show.
Okay,
these are some of my very favorite things that are always on my desk at home. But if you're going to fussy cut, you need a good, sharp pair of scissors.
And those are all really good ones. I have both of these pairs at home.
Yep.
And I don't have this one, but I'd like to get it.
And then if you need more tools.
It makes fussy cutting more desirable.
Yes.
I love to fussy cut.
You can get into those little areas, like, around here.
And it looks better. If you have sharp scissors, it looks better.
And I like the smaller size scissors to fussy cut. I think larger scissors, it's more difficult to get into those fine areas. And fussy cutting does take a little bit of practice. And I used to hate to fussy cut. I don't mind it so much now, and I'm getting better at it, so I don't really mind.
And Shannon loves the Cutter Bee scissors also. Those are kind of a classic.
Yeah, I think so. I think these are probably a favorite for fussy
And they
cutting.
cut to the tip. They're pointed and sharp all the way to the tip.
So watch your fingers.
Yeah, and put the cap on.
Yes, put the cap on when you're not using it. So that's where this came from. I did pop it up so that I could then get my journaling underneath it.
That's really
because I wanted my
clever.
journaling to look like it was coming out of the typewriter, because I'm writing a note to myself, and I did want my title to say note to self, but it was a little too much, so take note is what it ended up being. But I liked how that turned out. And these letters are the Color Vibe letter stickers.
Oh, the Color Vibe. Okay.
Yep. So the Color Vibe letter stickers from I think the Brights pack, maybe.
It looks like it might be Brights.
Yep. I think it's the Brights pack. So and they were the perfect size to fit right in there. So I felt pretty lucky on that one, because I didn't plan ahead on the size of the
And it worked out just
because I'm just not a
perfect.
planner aheader, as we know. Another little design thing that I did here, you'll see there's a little bit of purple underneath here. It wasn't initially planned that way, but there was just a space below my photo mat and above the title, and I didn't want the yellow to show through. So I had just the...
Yeah, what did you put there? Just a piece of paper, or... Oh, okay. Hey guys, there's the border strip.
There's the
We
border
talked about
strip
that
right there.
yesterday in Scary Makers.
Yep, the border strip. That's what I put right behind
Good
there. I just tucked
idea.
it in there. It
So she
kind
put
of
it right
helped tie
there.
in the purple colors into everything.
Yeah, it looks good. It's
so
part, it looks
it
like
worked
part of the
really well.
grouping.
My tags up at the top, you'll see these up here. They were from the tag sheet that I just took 1, 2, and 3, just right up along there, and I just showed, you know, the top of the tag. Now, if you wanted to do some more journaling on there, you know, and hide it a little bit, you could certainly do that, and then
Sure,
you know,
make
have
it a
room
pocket.
to pull it out.
That's a good idea.
You know, because sometimes we do want to include some journaling on our pages that we don't really want everybody to see. We want to tell a story, but maybe not, you know, to share with the world. So sometimes that tucked in journaling is kind of a nice little thing. And this would be a great place to put that. I didn't this time, I just used that for decoration. You know, used 2 different kinds of twines to tie the strings.
It's really
on that
cute.
one
It's a very beautiful layout, and people are
to bring
loving
things
it.
in. And again,
Lots of details.
I love that Teresa started that, you know, encouraged us to do
I know. I wonder
Me
how
in
many people are
23.
keeping
Yeah,
up
if you
or
guys
finished.
are still
or
doing it, let us know. Let us know, and let us know what you think about it. I know in January I had decided that I was going to do 1 layout a month about myself. I'm still.
And have you been doing it?
I have
Peggy?
been.
Good
I
job.
have been.
Good
like
job.
I said, this is my July page. I haven't started my August page yet. August isn't over with
It's
yet.
not over with yet.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've been keeping up, and I've really been enjoying it. And I think at some point, you know, maybe my kids will appreciate the fact that I wrote about myself.
I
too.
know they will.
You know,
Wouldn't
they
you
may
like to
not always
know
know.
about your mom or your grandma? Or
I would love to have, you know,
stuff
things
like
like that
that.
about, you know, how my mom felt at different stages in her life, or, you know, about
Right.
different things and stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, I just, this is, you know, just about me as I'm getting a little bit closer to full retirement. I'm just partially retired now, but full retirement, and I'm so looking forward to it. And
we're looking forward to it too, Peggy.
just, I
Because
mean,
we're going to snatch you up for even more, or we hope to. Memory Bound hopes to.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to that too. But yeah, I mean, I want to say yes to more adventure, and I want to be able to spend more time, you know, with my grandkids, and, you know, see the world through their eyes a little bit more, and you know, not be so serious about life. And that's kind of what I want to do.
Those are good goals.
So yeah, lots of fun with this collection.
It's kind of a general collection,
It
an
is.
everyday collection. You could use it for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It is called The Little Things.
And there's so many different colors in the collection.
And cameras. We love cameras.
Yeah, absolutely. That you can use it with, you know, any kind of photos. I mean, if you have lots of colorful photos, you know, it gives you like the blacks or the reds, so it can be a little bit calmer. If you have, you know, a photo that has just a few colors in it, you know, use the floral, use those
Yeah,
use
I
those
think
up.
it's great.
So
I think it's gorgeous.
it is beautiful, and it just lends itself to so much. It's really it's a nice
So
collection.
we have looked at my most valuable player, MVP Golf.
Yep.
And we have looked at Monster Mash from Echo Park.
Yep.
And the Little Things from Simple Stories.
Yep. And then should we talk
And,
about this
yeah.
real quick?
So we had a question earlier about whether or not we sell bulk packs of cardstock, and we do. We've got the 80-pound smooth basil. You get 25 sheets. And then we also have the natural. Okay, those are $15.99. And we've got the natural, and then we do have the black ebony also, and it's $15.99. The black's always a little bit more, I
more
think,
dye
in
heavy.
paper. It must take a little more. Oh, and craft.
And craft.
Peggy, I almost didn't say
Yeah.
craft. So there's
You
our
know,
4
these
colors.
And these are great staples to have in your collection. I have all 4 in my collection because neutrals, I think, are important to use. I mean, whether you use them for, you know, bases on your page,
Right.
your journal blocks, you can use them to ground your accents on your pages, anything like that. I think they're great.
So we also have the 8.5 by 11. So we have both sizes. A lot of times the card makers, or for card making, you might like the smaller
Yeah,
size, or
'cause
if
you
you're
just have to
doing
cut 'em in
smaller
half.
projects.
Or
Or
the 8.5 by
the
11s are $12.99.
$12.99. Okay, so those. Thank you for asking that question. Sometimes we forget about things just the basic things that we have here at Memory Bound.
And these are great to have. Great to have in your
And
collection.
the other thing I forgot, Peggy, was we had this is nothing related to anything, but it was a squirrel moment. But yesterday, Tim Holtz released his Halloween stamps and stencils. And we had a special video at 11:11 yesterday because we were late. We tried for 11, but we couldn't make it.
But 11 is a good time.
It is, it is. So check that out, and you can see all of his new stamps and stencils, and we will be sure and show them again. We'll get some projects made with those.
I was going to show this little basket too.
What is this?
This is, these are products that I have on my desk all the time.
We loved seeing
all
stuff like
the time.
that.
These are my most used products. Again, the fussy cut scissors.
Yep, those
because
are good.
we use those. I did bring both sets because I actually have, I think I have 4 pairs of scissors, and depending on the material that I'm using will depend on the scissors that I use. Sometimes I've got a pair of, Cutter Bee used to have like a Teflon pair that you could cut, sticky stuff with. So sometimes when I use my, like if I'm cutting my foam tape or something, I'll use my non-stick scissors. But I have 4 pairs on my desk all the time.
I believe it.
It seems a little excessive, but I do. Adhesive, repositionable, and permanent, non-repositionable.
I just got
I use them both.
repositionable, Peggy. I never used it before. I just got it for the first time.
Janet persuaded me on that a few months ago, and man, I use it a lot.
I
use
needed
a
it for
lot.
something, and I didn't have it. And I'm like, I guess I need to get some.
And then this, the adhesive eraser. When I am putting like the skinny strips on my pages, like this piece right here,
Yep.
I'll run my tape runner over the back of it to put it down. And sometimes, even though it's a
Get a
1/4
little
of an inch
extra
wide,
sticky.
and this is a 1/4 of an inch wide, it still, comes out on the top or the bottom. And this, I just go over
Wipe it off.
as an eraser, and man, it comes right off. And so this is something I use all the time. Score tape is a staple that I use, especially you'll see on the next layout that a lot of chipboard pieces are put down with that. You've heard me talk about
Yes, her ruler, the Tim
I
Holtz
cannot
design
live
ruler.
without this one. That's my go-to no matter what. And then the powder tool. You either love this one or you hate this one. I'm a lover of the powder tool. And anytime that I use a sticker,
Like right here.
Yep. Anytime I use a sticker on a layout, I will typically powder it and take the sticky off the back. And then that way I can put my, my dimensional tape or my foam dots on, underneath
Well, and you
it,
don't
and it
want
doesn't
that.
stick to
You
the
don't want
page.
that sticky stuff on the
Right.
back of your stickers.
Exactly. I don't want part of it, popped up and the other part of it stuck to the page
Right,
because I
right.
haven't taken it off. Especially some of the finer stickers, some that are maybe more vine-like that way. I don't want that.
Like
I think like the golf letters.
So
I took
those she powdered to take off the adhesive or cover the adhesive,
Yep.
and then stuck them on.
The same with the golf bag and the gloves up here. I
That's
didn't
such a
want those
cute
to be
layout.
stuck on there. But
Interesting.
I still, in Katie and Kelly last week, the thing about the powder tool, the hardest part in using this for me was taking off the lid.
And you never put it back on,
I never put
right?
it back on because I had such a hard
It
time
is hard.
taking the top off.
We were showing that
Yeah.
on a video once, Peggy, and I remember
That
struggling
was
a
the
little
hardest
bit.
thing for me.
The camera having to go
Yeah.
somewhere else, but we tried to get the lid off.
So I took the lid off and I never put it back on.
Well, I'm so glad you
these
showed us
are my
this.
staples. These are the things I use all the time. They're
And
always
people
on my
love,
desk.
They love seeing what other people use all the time.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
really
it's just
fun.
I use it. They're always there. They are always there. Okay, we're going to go to our last
we're
one
going
here.
to,
I'm going to actually
you want to just slide
this.
over?
Yeah.
So here's our last layout with Peggy today. It's her Grand Turk Adventures.
Yes, we went on a cruise a couple years
Looks
ago.
beautiful.
And this was, I swear this is the most beautiful place I have ever been in my life. And when I saw the Sunburst collection come out, I thought this would be
it is
so
perfect.
for this layout. And so that's what I used on it. Again, the sketch was my inspiration for this, and you can see I still have the 3 sections. I have the top section, I have the middle section, which is a little bit bigger, and then I have this bottom section. I just changed it up a little bit by creating the waves down here.
Oh my gosh, I love those waves.
That's the bottom part. And then my photos actually took up the whole 6-inch. These are 4x6 photos going across, so I didn't trim them down or crop them down or anything. They're the 4x6, so that section stayed that size, and then the top section is a little bit wider. It's a little more than 2 inches, but that's simply because I wanted these strips to be a little bit wider. Initially, I started with I only had 1 sheet of each paper, so I just have 1-inch strips going
so it's
around
not a total,
here.
She tricked us.
But if you have two sheets of the paper, I would use both sheets. It'll go a lot faster to mat your things on. Yeah,
you had
a little
to
bit
make
easier
do.
to measure.
Make
So a lot of pencil lines underneath to kind of make sure everything was straight. But the same with the black and white. Now, when you look at the photos, you don't necessarily see black and white in them, and so why did I choose this? I like the flowers in it. I like that design.
I think it's a good neutral to make everything stand out also.
Yep. I wanted these brighter colors in there too, because these flowers are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
The beautiful blue water. I wanted the brighter colors, so I needed something to kind of ground that and to quiet things down. Even though my background was white, I still needed that. Now you'll see on the sketch, that middle section does go all the way across the page. Well, I only wanted to use these 4 pictures, so I wasn't able to go all the way across the page. So I had to kind of balance that out a little bit, and so that's why you'll see that I created the box around the photos on that.
I love it, Peggy. Everybody is loving it. The hearts are crazy. I'm very anxious to hear about the waves because I would never have used patterned paper, and I love that you did. That it makes them even more special.
I did use the pattern paper on that, and let me pull these things on. I didn't use the rub-ons, but I just love these rub-ons. I think they're gorgeous.
I got the rub-ons. I think for our Hawaii trip, I thought they'd be fun to use
because they were just wonderful. But these are the papers that I used. Do you see where this page is used?
I do not.
It's this right here.
Oh, that's part of the wave.
Yep, it's part of the wave. I cut the wave
gosh,
off
I
the
don't
top.
know if I could have thought.
Yep.
I would never have thought of that.
Because it was part of the blue
So
and the
this
wave.
is the Sunburst from 49 and Market. It's
Yep.
one of their newer collections.
So this was
Well,
part of
one
my
of their
wave
newest
here.
collections.
Yeah. And then
And that's called Lost Island, which is a good name for it.
And then I used this one. This is the bottom one that I used. And what's this one called?
So that's over here on the bottom.
That's the bottom one. And I'm not sure which I used.
There's the yellow that she used around her photos.
I'm not sure I don't have the one that I have. Oh, maybe it's here. No, not that one. I'm not sure which one.
That's around
that
the
one
top,
is.
kind of the neutral black
This
and white.
one might have been one of the solid
Okay.
that came. But what I also did, because the colors weren't quite exactly what I wanted them to be, especially this middle one, and then this top one had a little bit more pink in it than what I wanted. I did use Salty Ocean.
Well, which is the perfect color because it's the ocean.
Yeah, name and
Salty
color.
Ocean.
And I just took my blending
So you
tool
just inked it.
and inked the top of all of them, and that kind of helped tie them together. But you'll see in the water the different variations of the colors. So that was kind of what I was kind of looking at too, to get the different colors of the water. The water is just gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I could stay there.
it defines the edges of the waves on your
Yep.
paper also. I think the ink does.
So and I did cut this on my Cricut simply because I was just more in a hurry. But you can certainly do this by hand. I mean, or with the circle punch, which I've
Sure,
shown
you
before.
could make up a
certainly
pattern
do that,
and then just trace it.
Right, your waves don't have to match. The way that mine did. They don't have to. You can offset them, and I think that creates a really nice little look too. Because when you're looking at the ocean, the waves don't always match up. They're kind of offset too. So I kind of like that. I kind of like tucking in the little turtle
yes,
there.
That is cute. Is that from the chipboard?
That's from the chipboard. I used the different elements from the chipboard on here.
So you'll see chipboard, chipboard, chipboard.
This is chipboard.
Chipboard.
And I used some of these words out of this collection pack, and the sun out of this one.
So this is all part of Sunburst from 49 and Market.
Yep. Which I love their chipboard pieces. I love their words. The words, I think these are great to use for titles as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't on this page, but that was really my intent to start, but I didn't. I ended up creating my own on that. The chipboard, I used a Spellbinders die to cut these little leaves. I've used it over and over and over again. I used the little leaves to each of the little flowers. These flowers here were fussy cut. They were on the. If you get the collection pack of the
they were on one of the papers.
It's on the back side of the cover. They have some cut-aparts.
It's on the back of the cover. Okay, gotcha.
They have some cut-aparts in there, and so those red flowers were from that.
But even that relax and recharge is right here on the titles.
These tickets were on the back side of the cover too.
Oh my gosh!
So I just kind of fussy cut those, and again, when we're looking at the sketch, here's that little grouping.
Right, and you've got your grouping. And she just stretched it into a 2-page layout.
Yep, stretched it across. My caption there is where my journaling is. Here I did the script journaling
here's
again.
Here's her clever journaling where you type it up and then you just cut it
apart. And then I did use the foam strip dimensional tape and put it behind there to pop it up so it isn't right up against the background paper. I did pop that up.
It looks good.
Everything
looks great. Everything looks so great, Peggy.
So yeah, this is one of my, and I really thought that I was going to do the title. When I did the title, I was going to do it, I was going to stay with the blue and yellow colors because I just really like those colors. But every time I looked, here and here,
I think it's great. It's a great highlight.
I'm seeing, this, I don't know what color is it, magenta, reddish
kind of
magenta.
A magenta.
I'm seeing that, and I thought I still need to do that. And so there's, the beautiful pink, this dark pink.
And that's what you cut it from.
That's
so
what I cut it from.
Cut all your things from solids. You can
Right.
take some of the papers in the collection pack.
Well, and I brought this over too.
I love that one.
I do too. Can you see where that was used on the layout? It's these little flowers, or these little leaves.
Oh, I thought you cut those with your Spellbinders.
The Spellbinders die, but it's
oh,
out of
but
this
you
paper.
Okay, all right.
I used the top of the pineapples.
Okay, I caught up now. So she took the tops of the pineapples, which are not focusing for some reason. There they are. And then she die cut the tops for these leaves. Just took a little leaf die and, oh my gosh.
So you don't have to use solid cardstock.
I don't know how you ever came up with that, Peggy.
You can use, the different, look at the smaller parts of this, because I'm using a small die, so I knew I needed a small sheet of paper, or a small piece of paper, and I could use this small pattern on there and create some texture that way. So that was kind of, I really liked that, and I liked how it also made the leaves kind of different colored.
Yeah, which
in there too, because when you're looking at nature, the green isn't all the same green; it's different colored.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, even here you can see the variegations in the foliage there. So why not put it there? I did use a lot of the words. Kind of went a little heavy with the words, but you know what? I liked them.
I like it too. They're great accents.
I really liked them. So I did that. And then I did pop up the waves just to give it a little bit of depth there. Kind of tuck the little turtle in there.
Yeah, he looks like he's jumping up out of the water. And I didn't notice it before, but she's got a little chipboard heart with
Yep.
them.
And for all of those chipboard pieces, because they are just a little bit heavier, than your paper, I do use score tape or glue dots, depending on the size of the piece. I will use this to adhere it onto my page rather than just my regular tape runner. I feel more secure.
I think it needs something
that.
a little heavier.
I think a permanent tape runner can do the trick for it, if you need it to. But if you have the score tape or if you have glue dots, I would definitely go that route with the heavier items, especially here where I'm kind of
when you're
putting
gluing
one
them on
over
top
the
of each
top.
other
Yeah.
too. That's a
or
great tip.
even the sun up here, where it's coming out a little bit more.
Or I might use liquid. A lot of
yeah,
times I'll use
liquid is
liquid
good
glue
too.
for
Yes,
it too.
liquid is good too.
Oh, they just love your layouts.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the sketch.
well,
So I mean,
Peggy,
as
thank you
you
so
kind of
much.
scroll
My
through
gosh.
these, none of these look the same, but they did come from the same sketch.
We'll take
The inspiration
pictures
was from
for
the same
everybody
sketch.
for our blog, and I love it. Thank you for doing one sketch, because I think seeing different ways with one sketch rather than doing a bunch of sketches, then it's kind of like, so this is perfect.
Just
and I
the
hope
one
that you come
sketch.
back with one of the other sketches.
I can. Do
I think
that.
everybody would love that. They
Janet,
love your
Janet
layouts.
and I have talked about a little bit about the sketches and things.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I think it was kind of a nice little collaboration, for
was.
the two of us too, and just a nice way to highlight, things that, that our people do here, with the sketches, and to provide our customers an easy way to do their pages and to create their memories.
Come up with new ideas.
Right.
And kudos to Janet for designing the sketches for us.
Yes, exactly.
So that's not an easy
Exactly.
task.
It is
and
not.
So we're happy that she was able to do it.
Yeah.
And you can get the sketches. They are downloadable, so you can purchase them online, and you can download it right to your own computer, or we can mail it with your order, or you can come in, and we've got them here available in the store. They say very creative, Peggy, beautiful work as always, inspiring.
Thank you.
Lots of really nice comments. So thanks, Peggy.
I just hope people enjoy doing it themselves too. Using the sketches to kind of jumpstart their creativity, and know that the sketch is just a starting point.
Right,
Starting
and you
point.
showed us how
And
we
you
can make
just
variations.
Expand, you can do whatever you want. You can add your own style, whatever you want. It's just a starting point. It's just a good place to.
Start?
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say start again because I'd used it already so many
To
times.
get you going. It's
Just
a good,
to get you going.
yeah,
Yep.
good way to get going and
Yep.
start laying out your
Yep.
layouts. Laying out your layouts. That's
Laying
just
out your
as bad
layouts.
as
Yep,
starting
there
your
you
start.
go.
So thank you
We're
so
really
much.
good in grammar.
We're really good.
Yeah.
Ain't we, Peggy? We're real good, ain't we?
We sure is.
Thank you so much, Peggy. This has been wonderful. And tomorrow, Cindy Grant is back, and she's going to show us how to make, I can't remember how many pieces of ephemera out of one sheet of paper.
I can't wait to watch her.
So
She's
that's going to be really fun. She'll be
makes the
here
coolest
tomorrow
stuff.
at 9:30. She has so many ideas, and her mind is always racing, and it's going to race with us tomorrow.
Yes.
So we'll be here for that. And if you are in Scary Makers, Katie and Maggie will be here this afternoon at 1:30
that'll
for
be
their
fun.
introduction. And so jump on for that, or watch it later, or watch it over and over as many times as you want. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.